Yeah, we've been quarantined here for what, March, April, and May, or into June. So this is a highly unusual thing worldwide, and we've had to make a lot of compromises to adjust to it.
The level of interest and support that I've gotten since I moved to Portland has been great. I love everybody.
You guys here at the Ceramon House really took care of the, we had our own entrances, we had our own bathrooms, and can't always do that, but you guys were very on it tonight and very helpful in that way.
We had our own bathrooms assigned to us, and all the surfaces were pre-sprayed and sprayed after they were touched. I feel this is probably one of the safest places to be in Portland, Oregon right now.
I hope that this will lead to lots more events like this at the Ceramon House because it's a fantastic place to play.
I really enjoyed the gig tonight with Tom Grant and Perry Forcell and Billy Edson. And this is a wonderful space to create music.
Not playing with other musicians is very hard. I've been doing a weekly live stream thing by myself from my own house, and that's one thing. That's nice to be able to do that. But it's so special to commune with other musicians.
I was super comfortable playing. I miss it so much that I was super excited to do it. And playing with the mask was a little awkward, but if that's the price you gotta pay, I'd gladly do it.
Especially guys like we played with tonight, Ronstein and Perry Forcell on bass. They're so tuned in. We're also tuned into one another. It's really we almost forget when you go this long without playing with one another. You forget what it's like. It's really a joy.
I felt very safe. Yes.
I want to thank you for this very hip face mask which has pictures of Miles Davis and Bill Evans on it. Be cool. So wear your mask, stay safe, be well. Keep jazz alive.
This bumpy road's allowed, but I'll always keep the memory of where you held your knife. Very frightening. Where we danced till 3. The way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. They can't take that away. They can't take that away from me.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Thank you so much. How's the sound of me talking? Good? All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Did anybody tune in? We have an audience of 5 right now. Really 2. Just 3 other people just work here, so I hope you're enjoying it. I mean, that's a side benefit. But if you're not, then I don't know what to tell you. This is a jazz concert, so we're playing jazz.
Look at the comments, George.
I can't see because my glasses.
Do you want your glasses?
Well, you're the one with the young eyes.
Do you want me to? I had to get my glasses, so they're not that young.
Well, what you been doing that you need glasses?
Do you want me to read these comments to you, George?
If you wouldn't mind.
There's one from my mama. That says, perfect way to end the work week. There's one from my neighbor growing up, Ed Black. He says, way to go, Noah. That's a technical piece. Nice.
Cool.
So,
Cool,
and there's another one from Matt Tabor.
Matt.
He says, good, sounds good, fellas.
Matt, I tried to throw in some diminished harmony for you.
Yeah, that's good. What was that first tune we played, George?
That was Polka Dots and Moonbeams.
Yeah.
Very popular jazz standard. We decided to not really, well, we can't really rehearse because of all this mishigas that's going on, but we're trying to keep it loose and spontaneous. We don't like to over-plan, you know, because if you plan too much, then it can be disappointing. So there should be an element of winging it. Otherwise, it becomes a different thing.
I never know what I'm doing.
I mean, this is not a classical performance. This is some jazz. So we like to surprise ourselves and play some stuff that we didn't even know we could play. So, and then what did we play after that? See, I can't even remember from tune to tune.
We played Monk's Dream by Thelonious Monk.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tunes to play.
Yeah.
So, any other good comments?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's one from Jimmy Harad that says he loves the polka dots.
Jimmy.
There's one from Jessica Jude who says that she loves me. That's great.
Well, bring it over to Tinder.
There's another one from my friend Soraya who says that I'm not wearing black, and this is great because I'm always wearing black, and I decided to wear a brown shirt. You know?
See, that's why you should move to New York, because everybody wears black in New York.
Yeah, I think you have to. It's like you sign your lease, and then you got to give up all your colored clothes, and you just got to wear black. Although, you know what I always say? When people are just like, Noah, you never wear any color. I say black is literally every single color.
That's one way to look at it.
I'm always wearing the most color all the time. You should play some music and not talk.
Really? Let's play some. Anyway, if you
we
guys
can read more later.
Yeah, we could. We're going to talk a little bit more later. But I'm George Colligan, and I play piano, and I teach at Portland State University. And I'm originally from the East Coast. I was born in New Jersey. I don't know what exit. And I grew up in Maryland. And Noah Simpson is a former student of mine. Now he's out on his own.
I moved out.
You're right. And he's doing wonderful things in the Portland area. And certainly he was doing more before COVID. But
we're getting so many comments. We're getting some from Brad Mercer that said that we sound great. My old neighbor growing up is saying what's up, and he wants me to talk more. We're getting some nice comments. It's really nice.
Let's play some, because we're only...
Okay.
How much more time do we have?
We got a lot. You got a lot. I mean,
A lot of time? Okay.
Seriously, as long as the people are here.
Okay.
Right?
Well, let's keep playing.
Oh, they keep tipping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there you can support us with the virtual tip jar. I assume that Moses Barrett is posting everything according to that, and that's a really important, because basically there are no concerts. There's no work right now for musicians, and that's been that way since March. I was supposed to go to New York for 10 days. I was supposed to have a gig with John Scofield. That, of course, got canceled. Some other things in New York. I was supposed to go to Ireland. That got canceled. All of Noah's stuff is canceled. This is a way for you to support music, and support musicians, and we really, really appreciate it.
Will, it's okay. You can be broke. Just watching us is good
Is
enough.
that Will Goebel?
No, my friend Will Martelli.
Oh.
he's like, I'm yeah, you know what, Will? You can smash that share button. I don't know which camera to look in. Should I look into that one? Smash that share button. You can smash that share button, buddy. A lot of our work was canceled, and it's been hard for all of us. But supporting us through this is awesome, and I want to thank the Ceremony House for having us, and letting us do this. And I want to thank Left Door Streaming for making this sound so dope. We really, really appreciate it. Let's play some music.
Okay, we're gonna play something. This is a Bobby Hutcherson piece, one of the great vibes masters who passed recently, and it's funny because I heard Noah play this with another student of mine on a concert at Portland State, and one of my colleagues backstage, because we were supposed to, it was this thing for a scholarship thing or whatever, and they were saying all your pieces have to be 5 minutes. So I was like, yeah, their piece will be 5 minutes. But of course, we don't know. So my colleague was like, how do you know it's going to be 5 minutes? I'm like, it's probably not. Well, anyway, we have no idea how long this is going to be, but this is Little B's poem. Thank you very much. That was Body and Soul, one of the most recorded tunes in jazz, written by Johnny Green. And that was fun. Sounded beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you were trying to go somewhere else, but I didn't let you. I think you were trying to set up something. I didn't really know what it was.
Oh, to go after that?
Yeah, I mean, you started playing after we finished Little Bee's poem by Bobby Hutcherson.
Yes. Which was also good.
Yeah, it was. You think you were starting to set up something else? I didn't really know what it was, but
I didn't either.
oh, you were just playing.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. We're
Look
supposed
at us
to,
being creative.
Yeah, it's creative music. It's not pre-planned, pre-packaged. It's not pre-packaged music.
We make it right in front of you. I didn't figure it out beforehand.
Exactly. Yep.
You want some of these comments, George?
Sure, why not? As long as they're good.
We got an emoji from my friend Will. My friend Will is in here just cutting up a storm. It's really great.
Okay.
We're getting a bravo. We're getting some hearts. Jeff Abbott says it sounds good.
Thank you.
Barra Brown says, good Lord.
What does that mean, Barra?
Shout out to Barra Brown. Awesome drummer.
Barra's a
and
good
producer.
drummer and composer.
Yeah, producer. Been here for so long. And definitely awesome. He's got an album coming out, so definitely keep your eyes on him. Okay. And also, this will be an album, right?
Yeah. This is going to be available to listen to again and again, transcribe.
Hey, so yeah, thank you, Moses. For
Paul Ward.
Yeah, I'm gonna chat just for a minute about this. So, first, I want to thank both you guys for showing up. I want to let everyone out there who's watching know that there's almost no one here, and we have lots of bathrooms. And there's one reason behind this: we want all the musicians who come in here to feel safe, to be safe, to stay safe. So at the other side of all this, we got the music, which is great.
And we want them to be able to pee. We want them to be able to pee.
Oh, yes, and they need to be able to go to the bathroom, yes, which is good. Without fear, right?
You don't want to get here and be like, I have to pee. You should have peed at home.
Should have, exactly. Should have done all your business at home. And I also want to say, George is right. This is going to be a digital download album out of this. We're going to take all the tunes that they've done. We're going to create a rough mix. Ask these guys which 10 they want. We're going to choose 8. Why? There's reasons. And that will be an EP of this evening. And all the video that's being captured tonight for this stream event is being captured for posterity. We're going to recut it. We're going to make sure that all the angles that need to be angled in are visible to you. Whenever we do these things, there's always a moment when there's either a skank face or laughter happening between the musicians. And sometimes in the live stream, you don't quite get those moments, but they're going to be in the final. And I say all this because not only is it exciting for us to be able to memorialize this concert this way, but what Ceremon House is trying to do, and its mission is to create sustainable arts communities. And the way we do that is by having musicians play once in a friendly environment where they're totally comfortable. You can wear a brown shirt here and be just fine. And even though you're playing once, you get 3 things out of it. And all the people who are commenting, all the people who follow you guys, all the people who follow me and Ceremon House and Billy, and they're all going to know when this stuff comes out and they're going to buy it. So you've played once, but you get to monetize this 3 times. This is the way we turn a contraction of the arts market into an expansion. So when you go to tip these guys, you're helping them out. When you go to donate to Ceremon House, you're helping us do this for them and for other people too. We're here to help, and we have a plan, and we got a facility, and we got great musicians in this town, some of the best in the world. So that's all I wanted to say at this point. You guys can, if your chops aren't cold by now, you can.
It'd be cold?
Yeah.
You mean warm, right?
Warm. Well, I mean, I just spent all this time talking. You can.
Oh, you think they got cold from all your talking?
Yeah. Anyway.
The metal piece on the face helps a lot. No, it's really helpful.
Yeah, it's like Bane. Right?
It's like Bane. Exactly. I'm like Bane. Let's see if anyone gets the Bane reference. I'm hoping.
You and I did it.
You and I do. That's all that's important.
Exactly.
I think we should play one more.
Okay. Should we play one more and take a break?
That's what you can. If it's a 10-minute piece, play
let's
one
play two more.
If it's two
Probably
5-minute
a
pieces,
couple of 2-3 more.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna give some quick shout outs here. I actually see some. Norm Eater says fabulous. Shout out to Norm, fantastic photographer. James McDonald
Oh yeah.
says you take requests, Lush Life. I do take requests for money. You gotta pay for it. So if you want Lush Life,
yeah.
you gotta pay for it.
Oh yeah.
I think they were here. The you guys were here last time when someone requested All Star, and someone said like I was like, yeah, $700. You want to hear All Star by Smash? But yeah, if you want to hear Lush Life, that's fine. Lost on Fourth Ave. Matt Tabor. Huh?
I didn't bring music for that.
I don't. Oh, is that your tune?
Yeah.
I don't know George's tunes. Who do you think I am?
Matt's just being smart.
Mike Lockwood says that he's loving it. Mike Lockwood, dope drummer. Good to hear. Again with attitude. We don't know. I don't know any of these George tunes.
Yeah, we didn't. This is you gotta get the group with Buster and Lenny for that.
Yeah, you got to pay for real musicians, not not me. Jeez. Yeah, let's. I'll start it. I'll start something.
Thank you so much. That was a song written by the great Don Cherry, and that was called Art Deco. And I think I may have recorded that song with somebody a long time ago, like a steeplechase record.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Did you? Back in the 90s?
Back in the 90s.
When you were 6?
When I was not even 6.
When were you born?
94.
Get out of here. I think it was with this trumpet player named Dave Ballou. But I had forgotten about it because we just played it on the record date, and then Noah was like, oh, yeah, this tune, Art Deco. And I was like, oh, yeah, great tune. So it's a tune not often done, but it's wonderful. What else did we do? Oh, we played Segment by Charlie.
Or Tune X. I looked it up. It's also called Tune X.
I think there's even another title for it, too.
It's the multiple name Charlie Parker tune.
Yeah. And, I have to say, that is a hard tune to play on the trumpet, because I've tried sitting at home.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Extra kudos to you.
Thanks, old trumpet. For those who don't know, George was my old trumpet teacher at PSU. So.
You mean former, not old. Was I old then?
No, I meant old. I'm pretty sure I meant old.
Busting chops over here.
Yeah, we do what we can.
All right, we'll take a little break.
Take a little break. We're going to... let me tell them about what's going to happen next.
Okay, cool.
I do have a question for you before you go.
Okay.
You talked to 1905, and you talked to Tavern on Cruise. How much of it are gift cards?
Oh, so some of our sponsors include Tavern on Cruise, which is a wonderful restaurant out in Lake Oswego, and also the 1905, which is our beloved jazz club, which isn't doing a lot right now, but they are still delivering pizza, and it's the best pizza in town, at least according to my kids, who love it and can't get enough of it.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, we'll have to talk about that. So they have each offered $100 gift cards. So if you
I'll do the run. I just want to know what the amount was. Yeah.
I think it's 100. Yeah.
Yeah. And while these guys are starting to take a break, I'll do a quick rundown, and then we're going to do a transition here, where we're going to have a conversation for a few minutes before these guys come back, and they need to come back because they finished that last song on a dominant 7 augmented chord. So for the musicians out there, they haven't finished the gig yet, right? There's no tonic going on.
Left unresolved.
And for the non-musicians out there, when George says they're not practicing and that's sort of making this up as they go along, no, it's not true. Because for about 2 minutes, they did 4 chords, 3, 6, 2, 5. It's music language for how we name chords. They did that for like 2 minutes. That's structure. They come into this with structure. They're not totally making this up, so they're not the superheroes. Well, they are. But okay, so
don't spoil it for everyone.
Hey, listen. I feel like I'm James Lipton of the Actors Studio, who gets to ask the deep questions. So you guys take a break for a few minutes, and then we're going to bring up Will Patton, the chairman of our board at Ceremony House, and I'm going to talk with you guys a little bit as well. But Will is going to have some questions posed to him by Billy Edson, who's on the board as well. She is a performer here in town and also a hotshot attorney and a wonderful human being, and she's making so much of this stuff happen. So just briefly, I want to say one of the things I'm grateful for is Left Door Streaming. Meeting them has taught me a lot about how to get this done so that people feel welcomed visually into this experience. They take away all the barriers to enjoying a streaming experience. And so I'm grateful to them. One of the things that they have recommended to us is that we work with sponsors to get gift cards that we offer to all the viewers out there if you are of a mind to tip or to donate. What we're doing is we're taking your names and we're going to provide to you at random, which we'll choose over the weekend or Monday, one of the gift cards. We have 3 gift cards. We have a $100 gift card from Tavern on Cruise, which is George said is in Lake Oswego. They have an outdoor venue for musicians, which makes it much safer. And we're grateful for that because we want to protect the arts and the artists. 1905, Downbeat magazine named it one of the top jazz clubs in the world. And one of the things that I can say with confidence is that the scene at the 1905 may be quieted down, but it's not forgotten. And Aaron Barnes has kept his arms open to try to figure out creative ways to get musicians in to continue to do their work. And so shout out to him. He's offered a $100 gift card as well, which we're going to be providing to people who donate. All these donations need to be $20 or more. And also one of my other favorite restaurants personally is Pizzeria Otto. They are on Sandy Boulevard, and they have another location as well. They've offered a $50 card. That's going to be included as well. So not only should you be thinking about opening up your wallet, get all your friends online to watch this. It's Friday night, and you're getting some of the best music in the Pacific Northwest right here. So they should be paying attention, don't you think? Let's get them on. Let's get them into this world. Let's get them into supporting the arts. Let's get them to donate money so they can get some of these gift cards. And thank you to our sponsors. We're grateful for all of you, and we're going to be doing more and more for you as time goes on. One last thing that I want to say is that it's really important to understand, I think, that COVID's going to be here a while, and that creates an opportunity. It creates an opportunity for us to rethink what it means to create value for each other and with each other. And one of the things I'm very proud of is that all the people in this room, George and Noah, Left Door Streaming, the board at Saramon House, are really focused on one thing, answering the question, how can we do this so people care? That's what's going to get us through this. So if you are of a mind to support the arts and not just the artists, these who are here tonight, keep Saramon House in mind. Watch what we're doing. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. You saw a lot of the previews in the video in the warm-up to this show. So please stay tuned for this second act. And we have a surprise I'm going to mention real briefly. We asked the musician to be prepared to create a jazz setting for a performance of a Langston Hughes poem. We got to get some technical things worked out to make sure that we can do that, but I'm very excited about that, and very grateful to Damone Seraphin, who did the acting for us on this. It's a wonderful thing he did. So I'm done talking about all those things that are exciting and interesting, and that we welcome you to join us in. And with that, I think I'm going to turn this now over to Billy and to Will.
Paul.
Thank you.
Yes, it's really great to be here, and it's particularly great to have Will Patton with us, the chair of the board of Saramon House.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so what did you think of that? It's the first time you've heard this kind of a duo in your facility.
I just feel so lucky to be here in person, and for those of you watching, thank you so much. I know you guys can hear it fantastically. One of the unique things that I've experienced here tonight is that I didn't have a headset when I came in, and so I can't hear George. So it's really like jazz playing what's not there. So it's been an experience. I look forward to, in the second half, having a headset and hearing the full music. But Noah has been fantastic on the trumpet, so it's been great.
Well, it's really interesting because here he is, the chair of the board, and this is how we treat him. But we'll find out more about who Will Patton is. But first, Saramon House and this organization, and could you just tell the viewers what's different about this organization than other nonprofits that support the arts?
Yeah, certainly. I think one of the real unique things about Saramon House, particularly here in Portland, is that our mission is purposefully broad. And so we are a place for all arts. We are a place for all communities. We are not just a jazz joint or a gallery or a theater. We are all of those things, and we are really anything that the community can imagine can take place here at Saramon House, and I think that makes us very unique.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting, just when I was doing my own due diligence of Saramon House, I ran into Brian Cox on YouTube. And so you go back quite a ways. You have actors like from the Jason Bourne movies. Brian Cox was here at some point.
Yeah, so our founder and visionary, Randall Stewart, longtime theatrical actor and great friend of Brian Cox. So he was able to work with Brian and have him come out here and do a benefit for us, as well as if you are on the website, you can see Brian and his rendition of the Saramon House story, which is a particular passage, a work from Shakespeare.
Is it Pericles, and the actual character is Saramon?
Yeah, it's from Pericles, Prince of Tyre.
Yeah.
Very little known play, but it's Saramon is a wise sage elder who basically saves a princess named Thaisa, brings her back to life, and so Brian read for us and captured on video basically a passage from Pericles.
And it's fascinating. If you haven't checked it out, go to Saramon House. It's on their YouTube site, and it's fascinating. It's fantastic and a great soliloquy, and it's Brian Cox could like no other one could do. So, as far as the work of Saramon House, can you describe what kind of work your organization does?
Yeah, so our programming we have basically in 4 pillars, and we call them the 4 C's. So there's creativity, which is the arts. There's curiosity, which is education. Then there's ceremony, those the markings of the important moments in life, whether that be memorials or weddings, any other kind of important life moment. We have ceremonies here. And then the last C is community, and it's those things that bind us together as a people.
That's great. What do you think your constituents or your beneficiaries or stakeholders, as some might call, would describe some of the best benefits of Saramon House?
Well, I think, Paul spoke about this earlier, but really a sanctuary for the arts and culture and community here in Portland. But one of the most rewarding things is that almost without fail, anyone who enters this building, whether they be a painter or a book, an author, or a spoken word poet, a musician, someone for a memorial, someone for a wedding, everyone comes in here and immediately says just about the same thing with, wow, what a welcoming space this is. Like, magic can happen here. Great work can happen here. And that's super rewarding, and something I think that beneficiaries, constituents, patrons, performers alike share.
I know for a fact, you can't see the whole building right now. You walk in, and it's just this grand entry, and there are 2 tiers. There's this beautiful balcony, and there's a stage behind me, and it's this very welcoming, gorgeous building. And so we're about at the point in the interview where people need to know, who is Will Patent, and how did you become so involved in the arts?
Billy, you're killing me.
I know. That's what they hire me to do. I get paid the big bucks for this.
I prefer to be behind the screen and not in front of it. So this is new for me. Basically, I would not be here if it were not for William Shakespeare. My parents met at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. My father was the first full-time employee, Bill Patton, first full-time employee of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. My mother was an actress there on stage at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival for over 30 years. She is still alive and kicking and doing awesome in Ashland, Oregon. My father has since passed, but they have left an amazing legacy for the arts in Oregon. So I was basically raised and brought up with the Shakespeare Festival and the theater around me. But at some point, probably after appearing in Oedipus Rex and then Measure for Measure, I gave up being a child actor for sports. And if you, at that time, the season was about 9 months, 10 months long, and if you were going to be in a show, that was the commitment. So there was no time for Little League baseball practice and that kind of thing. So I wanted to play ball and followed that really for the majority of my life. I graduated from the University of Oregon, went to work for Nike. I worked at Nike for a total of 20 years, spent 6 years with the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA, all in marketing positions. And then when I moved back to Portland from Dallas and back to Nike, Randall Stewart, our founder, talked to me about Saramon House, and I came to some events, and so I was moved, and he invited me to come on the board, which I was eager to do, having never served on a board, and that's what brought me here today.
I will ask you a follow-up question to this because that's quite a story, but I feel like there's a common theme with your board members and their luring and the way they lure other board members on board, and it sounds like Randall did that to you, that you may have done that with Mr. Paul Ward. And I know this is an interview about you, but we can't have an interview about you without talking about Paul Ward. So, and how were your luring effects with Mr. Ward, and how is it that he got on board?
Well, it is amazing, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, but magical things tend to happen here at Northeast 23rd and Sumner in the Alberta Arts District in this building. So Randall, founder, visionary, heart and soul of Saramon House, retired in February. And Randall and I were here alone and were working out the specifics of his retirement and how that was going to happen. And there was a banging at the door. And I looked at Randall and I said, "Are you expecting anyone?" And he said, "No." And he looked at me, "Are you expecting anyone?" And said, "No." But I got up and went to the door, and Randall followed me, and we looked out, and there were two people walking down the steps. And it was Paul and his wife, Angela. And I said, "Excuse me, can we help you?" And they just said, "Oh, we wonder what this place is. What is this Saramon House?" And so we brought them in for a tour, and they seemed to appreciate it. And it turns out that Paul contacted me later for lunch. And, oh, by the way, he happened to be on the board at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. So,
he's totally underqualified.
Right.
Very underqualified.
Yeah, so when he suggested that he might have interest in being on the board, there was absolutely like, "Are you kidding me? Come on."
And doesn't he have 3 MBAs and has been an international businessman?
He
and
speaks like 75 languages. He knows how to produce video and tech. I mean, there's no end to the polymath that is Paul K. Ward.
And he happens to be a musician.
Yeah. So by all means.
It's too bad you can't attract quality people.
Yeah, like yourself, who Paul brought on just a few weeks ago, and we're so glad to have you here, Billy.
Well, thank you. I'm really happy to be here, but let's talk a little bit. I think we have just about 5 more minutes before we're done here. And so I have so many more questions for you, and I'm just getting started. But, with COVID, these depositions in their day jobs just aren't as fun on Zoom, and I'm just so happy to have a real live person here.
Right.
And I can't believe we only have 15 minutes. What is it that your organization seeks to achieve?
Oh my gosh, that is a great question. The vision that Randall had from the very beginning started with the question of what if? And we continue to ask that question here 11 years later. But he was asking himself, look at all these public buildings and these spaces of community that are going fallow, whether they be schools or churches or former Masonic lodges like this was. What if we entered into one of those spaces and breathed new life into it with the arts and with community? And that what if turned into Saramon House, which for 6 years did not have a home. So Saramon House without a home, a physical space. So we needed to rent or borrow or beg event spaces or places to hold our programming. And then the largesse of a retired Portland public school teacher who made it possible for us to acquire this physical space. All again by what if? What if, Randall, you had a space to actually carry out your mission? And so here we are in a global pandemic, and again, the questions of what if? What if we were to turn and pivot and put Saramon House into a place where artists could come and perform safely? And that is exactly what you're seeing tonight and what is happening. So we continue to be a sanctuary for artists, for the community, and right now more than ever, as George mentioned at the top, there aren't many venues where artists can perform.
Well, thank you. And I've been told I get 2 more questions.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask those
That's
as we
plenty.
rally up our musicians, because I'm sure you viewers are interested in listening to more music. But as far as your leadership goes, where are you strong in your organization, and where could you use some more development? Because there are people that want to know how they can help, how they can be a part of Ceremon House. And while you have a really strong history and a foundation, if there's ways that people can help, they sure have been inquiring a lot as of late.
Well, that's great to hear. So where we're strong, I think we're strong in what I call the 3 Ps in our leadership and our board, which is patience, positivity, and perseverance. The small team is agile, nimble, super innovative, energetic. Now that our masks are off, we have winning smiles and are likable and approachable. But where we need more development, where we need support, is in voices, more diverse voices, more diversity of lived experiences. We need more representation on the board. Frankly speaking, we need more enthusiastic board member participation. And if anyone out there is a CPA or financially inclined,
Yes.
we absolutely have a need on the board for a treasurer. So that would be of great help.
You will need to pass a very excruciating interview by a couple board members, however, so be prepared. But we do need a CPA. So if you had a message for individuals who want to participate, in addition to needing a CPA for the board and enthusiastic individuals, what would that message be?
Oh, wow. I think there's a number of ways, and hopefully I can remember all of them, that people could help, people could participate here. The first one is, as I mentioned, board service, or volunteering at really any level. If you are a gardener or a carpenter, or you're really good with social media, there's no end of the kind of volunteer help that we could use. If you're great at video production or editing, these are kind of necessary things that we actually pay money for, that would be great to have volunteers for. Another thing is simply donations. Fundraising, of course, is extremely important to nonprofit organizations, specifically in Portland and specifically in these times. It costs money to do what we're doing, and donations of anywhere from 50 cents to $500,000 would be warmly appreciated. And then lastly is just simply sharing about Ceremon House in your networks. I think we probably, after 11 years, are still one of Portland's best kept secrets. And so sharing on social media, talking about it on your Facebook, with your neighbors, all that kind of stuff can be of super value to us and not cost you a thing.
Okay, and if you were to describe utopia and all of your aspirations and inspirations were to come to fruition here at Ceremon House, what would that look like as our musicians are getting ready to come back in?
I am so excited about the activity that's happening here tonight and the quality of the musicianship. And what my vision of utopia for Ceremon House would be is if 340 nights a year, that this was a beehive of activity. So not only events in person when we can actually do that again, because this is a wonderful space for events, but also these virtual broadcasts and the amazing content procurement that Leftstream is doing for us that adds that value down the line. But if we can be doing that more consistently, and this is just a constant buzz of activity for the arts and for the community, I would be a very, very happy man.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for continuing to be committed to Ceremon House.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you both for that great interview. I've asked the musicians to come back, and this is the second half where we get to figure out what they're going to do with that very last chord that they played in the first half. There are a couple of things I wanted to just touch on. First, we're grateful for anybody who can provide economic sustenance for these two guys at any time. You can, like next Tuesday, you could drop by George's house with a bag of, $10 bills or something like that. But tonight, you got a link. You got a link in the lower thirds. You can just go to that. You get a choice of tipping George. You can tip Noah as well. You can donate to Ceremon House. all of that would be grateful. We'd be grateful for that. There's something special we're going to be doing tonight. It's part of the Ceramon lens on the world. Essentially, what we want to do is more than just offer these musicians to you in a gig format. Because there's so much attention that's being given now and needs to be given now to the human side of creativity and to the human side of living in this world together. I was inspired last week to ask the question on my Facebook wall, what are your favorite Langston Hughes poems? I just picked one up a few days ago, 10 days ago, and thought, that voice is sharp as a knife. It cuts, it's clear, it is human, it is historically grounded, it is aspirational, it is everything that you want in a poem, or in a poet, and it spoke to a time, and that time also echoes today. So what I thought I would do is ask on my wall, what are your favorite Langston Hughes poems? And people just poured in with their suggestions. I grabbed a couple of those suggestions, and there was one poem that I found on my own that I'd never heard of before. And I asked in my network of performer friends whom they would recommend to recite these on video. And I was very lucky through my friend Anna in Chicago, shout out to Chicago, the recommendation of Damon Seraphin, who is an actor living in New York, originally from Chicago. He is the founding artistic director of the New American Theater, and he was very nice to do 2 poems for us. We're going to do one of those this evening, about 2/3 of the way through the set, about 15 minutes or so. And it's going to be his classic, Harlem, which I have shared with these guys in a cut, which you're going to be able to see as they play along. It will take us a minute to get the technology set up for that. So I may ask George to play Misty or something while we do that, I don't know. And
Are we going to do that right now?
No, we're going to let you guys play a bit, and about 2/3 of the way through the set we'll do it. And one last thing I want to say is, after the stream is done tonight, these guys are going to hang out for a bit. And we're going to take the second one of those two poems, and we're going to do it with the cameras rolling for our concert video version of this evening. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Put a comment in wherever you're watching us and say, yeah, let me know when that thing's out, because there's extra content on it. So that's cool. We're very excited about that, and I'm very excited to find out what they're going to do with that augmented dominant 7 chord. So I'm done here for now. Oh, tip over $20, and you're eligible to win one of those 3 gift cards. Tavern on Cruise, 1905, Pizzeria Otto. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Noah Simpson on the trumpet.
George Colligan on the keys.
Yep. And we just did Prelude to a Kiss by the great Duke Ellington. And then before that, what did we play before that? Oh, Stablemates. Played Stablemates by Benny Golson. And I was actually lucky to play with Benny Golson a few times in another life. And one of my former students and John Nastos were at one of the gigs, so I can prove it if you don't believe me.
There's people who don't believe you?
You'd be surprised. I could get to a point where I'm like, man, I played with so-and-so. Really? I don't hear it.
I definitely can't tell.
Yeah, you need to produce some proof.
Some photo evidence?
Yeah.
That happens every once in a while.
Yeah. Any interesting comments? We're hoping people are still listening.
My friend Ernie Acosta says that we're swinging, yeah, guys.
Solid.
We're getting some views all the way from Hawaii.
Wow,
so
amazing.
I'm very happy with that.
International.
One of my old trumpet teachers.
I know Hawaii's a state. I'm just making a joke. Did you know? Hold up. I feel like I need to make an announcement. Okay, there are 40% of Americans that think that. Yes. No. This is not political. Because look. There's only two choices in this election, Russia or China. But
what is happening? What is happening?
No, look, I just saw this. 40% of Americans think that humans, Homo sapiens, coexisted with dinosaurs. So, and I'm not saying, this is not political. This is a public service announcement. If you're one of those people, you need to know. I mean, I hate to go over information that I thought was already covered, but that's really shocking to me.
Can I give a piece of information too? We're doing this?
Yes.
Do you know the distance between your wrist and here is the same size as your foot?
Always? Really?
Yeah, you should try it. Do it right now.
Wait.
Just do it. Come on.
Do this?
The distance from here to your wrist is the same size as your foot.
I can't.
And that's right, Billy's right. And your wingspan is how tall you are.
Really? That's fascinating. See, I did not know that.
I think that's more interesting than your.
Well, that seems
political.
a little bit. That seems a little. No, mine was not political.
I know, I'm messing with you.
But that's. I'm gonna write that down.
You gonna write that down?
Yeah. And share it with my kids because they would be very interested in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, enough fun facts. My old teacher Fred Forney says, "Yeah, guys, happening." Fred Forney, fantastic trumpet player in Phoenix, Arizona. Hope you're doing well, Fred. Matt Tabor wants to hear some beet rice. Beatrice.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Rice. All right, cool. Thanks, Matt, for a sane request.
Okay. Let's do this. And then what we're going to do, set up Billy's laptop to show you the video so you can play along with it. So have fun with this. And if you don't really want to do this, I mean, I know you do want to do this Langston Hughes poem, but if you don't, it can be a long tune. But we're going to go a little bit longer because you guys are killing it and everyone loves it. So do this tune, and then we're going to do the Langston Hughes thing. Cool?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Great.
This one's from my homie Matt Tabor. This is the best version of Beatrice you'll ever hear.
Oh, no. Goes out to Matt Tabor, the graduate teaching assistant at Portland State. And
Shout out PSU.
Yeah, I am a professor at Portland State, and Noah is a graduate.
Not technically.
Okay, but soon.
Guess we'll find out. Guess we'll find out. I did all the credits.
I can't look at your DARs now. I don't.
You think you could look at it literally right now, see if I can graduate or not?
Let's dial it up right here.
Let's dial it up right here so we can look at these darts. Matt Tabor says, well, now, I can't play that ever again. Yeah, you can.
Matt, don't even.
We want to hear you play that again.
Don't even lie.
Yeah, that was
Matt,
fun.
Matt is a really good pianist. He's one of those, I have a lot of students now, and in a way, Noah was kind of like that. Like, I have a lot of students that, of course, I can claim the credit for, but did I really? I mean, I think Noah would have been okay without me. And Matt can already play, so I don't know. I just say, yeah, do that again.
I will speak as one of your former students that we learned so much, and I will say from my personal experience, it wasn't necessarily like all the time in the lesson room with you, but it was like all the time hanging, and all the time going to all your shows, and all the time seeing you play with all these other musicians. And in a way, that's kind of like how people used to learn back in the day. It's just like you would go and you would hang and you would learn all that thing, and it was very different. I remember very vividly. There's this harmonic thing that you do that I really like, that I want to know like how it worked. And I tried to get you to explain to a lesson a million times, and you just couldn't explain it to me, and I was like, what the heck? And then I just remembered, like maybe a month into just going to your gigs, and just like, oh, like I just like played it, like I did it. And I was like, oh, I've just heard George and played with George so many times now that I just understand. It's very much osmosis. So
well, it has to be like that, because I mean, even if you explain something to somebody, like, I mean, you could explain, Japanese culture to somebody, and they'll be like, oh, that sounds interesting. But until you go to Japan and see it for yourself, then you're like, okay, I really get this,
And you immerse yourself, like, it's like that immersion method of just like, oh, I'm just going to go someplace and like that only speaks that language. And I mean, I've probably said it a million times. You would agree with me. Jazz is a language.
Absolutely.
And you just got to practice talking it all the time.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You can't just be casual, I think. I mean, I don't know. Some people maybe are geniuses and they can get it together with minimal effort. But I just found that I had to do it all the time and be around it all the time and just kind of be obsessed with it in order to be good at it. So,
Dario Lapoma says, this is so wonderful. Dario Lapoma is really wonderful. You should meet Dario. He's a new keyboardist in town. He's fantastic.
Okay, cool. Any bad comments?
My mom called me stinky. No. There was one from Lauren Camp who said that some of us are rectangular and the concept of the arm thing doesn't work. There's some that say that, like, play regular chords, stop playing all these dissonant chords.
Really?
They tell me that I'm flat, stop playing so many notes.
Oh, no, that's a lie.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Huh? You about ready?
Let's do it.
So, some water? Oh, no, thanks.
No, I'll do it. I'll shoot it. I'll drink both of them.
Are you old enough?
You want to card me? Yes.
Is he old enough?
I know, 1994. I'm 26 years old, unfortunately. Cheers.
Yeah, and by the way, Prosecco is Italian for water. So.
Prosecco is Italian for water. Okay.
You know
Hey,
what the Russian word for water?
what's the Russian word for water?
Sounds a lot like water. Vodka.
Vodka.
I think it's voda is actually water.
George, count me off. Count me off like you're counting off a tune.
1, 2, 3.
You're supposed to sip it. Okay, it's not a chugging wine. It's just a sippy.
He's 26. He can do whatever he wants.
I don't know how wine works.
Good. You guys had a chance to check this out earlier?
Well, we listened to it.
And you know it's in an F minor blues when he starts singing, right? F minor blues scale, right? I'm just saying.
Okay. Well,
you don't
we'll
have to search for the key. I'm just giving it to you. It's
well,
like
let's.
a gimme.
We're gonna be free form on this and interpret.
You can do what you want. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Everyone in the audience is going to see the video.
Okay.
And they're gonna hear you.
Okay.
And they're gonna see the video coming from Moses' computer, and you're gonna see the video coming from Billy's computer. So we're gonna start them at the same time. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and then we should keep playing a little after.
As you wish.
Okay.
So
Let me get my glasses. Hold on.
Yeah, glasses are good. Here, I'm gonna play.
Make sure all my secret stuff is not shown.
I shot Prosecco, Lauren. I wasn't supposed to shoot it, but I shot it anyway. Someone asked, why did I shoot?
Frankly, I think it's going to start a trend.
I think he's going to start trying to just start chugging it. Yeah.
Well, somebody says I'm flat.
So we're going to get this. You're flat.
George is flat.
That's the joke. It's an electric keyboard.
Although there is a transpose thing. Anyway, I think you're all right. We're going to get this started now, okay? We're going to 3, 2, 1, play. Here we go. 1, 3, 2, 1, play.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode?
That was cool.
Can't wait to see that.
Awesome. We got a comment that says terrific reading. The playing was fine. The reading was better. The reading and singing was better. That's fine. That's usually how it goes.
So is that about it?
Fantastic. The Montevilla Jazz Festival says fantastic.
What?
Let's do one more, George. Come on.
Okay, all right. One quick one.
The Montevilla Jazz Festival says fantastic, George.
Okay, who is that?
The Montevilla Jazz Festival.
No, I mean, but that's got to be.
I'm sure it's Neil Matson.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. We're going to do one more tune. This is an Ornette Coleman tune called When Will the Blues Leave?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So, thanks, Moses and crew. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Billy. Thanks, Noah, for coming out.
Thank you, George.
You're welcome. Thanks to Ceremon House, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, and this will be available. You're going to talk about this now?
I'll make one quick statement about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll have this in post probably next week, and it'll take about 6 weeks to get everything all done. We have to coordinate with the musicians. So you can get this when it's available. Ceremon House is launching a paywall. We'll give you all information on that. Just send us an email. Send paul.ward@ceremonhouse.org an email with your email and say, I'm interested in the concert video. I'm interested in the EP. We are so grateful for everybody who made tonight possible. Most of all, you guys who are watching, because without you guys, it's nothing. So thank you. Thank you. Good night.